The Islamic State of Iran was born in enmity toward the United States. Led by the fiery cleric, Grand Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, revolutionary leaders animated grows in Iran by lambasting Great Satan for any number of crimes, both real and imagined. It didn't take long for this animosity to turn kinetic. As the Iran-Iraq War intensified throughout 1984, the two combatants began targeting each other's oil shipments as a way to gain military advantage. According to Global Security, 71 merchant ships were attacked in 1984 alone, compared with 48 in the first 3 years of their Iran-Iraq War. This drew the ire of global powers, none more so than the United States, who sent in a naval task force to escort oil tankers and merchant ships through the Persian Gulf. This led the US and Iran to exchange fire on a number of occasions. Not surprisingly, the US came out on top in most of these exchanges. This helped cement the United States as public enemy number one in the minds of many Iranian leaders, including those in the military. Since that time, Iran has sought to develop asymmetric military capabilities to offset America's insurmountable conventional superiority. 5 US weapons should be foremost in their minds. When Iranian aircraft began targeting US drones conducting surveillance over Iran in 2013, Washington responding by providing the US with high-value air asset escorts. These escorts often took the form of the F-22 Raptor. And for good reason, as Iran's American-made F-4 Phantom fighters are no match for the US 5th-generation fighter. In fact, the F-22 pilots frequently toyed with their Iranian counterparts. As the Air Force Chief of Staff explained of one incident in the event of an armed conflict with Iran, the single-seat, twin-engine F-22 would be integral in the opening minutes as the US sought to gain air superiority over Iranian skies. Fortunately, this is the exact type of mission for which the F-22 was built. Iran's military would have little effective recourse against the F-22. After helping the US gain air superiority, the F-22 could be put to use for any number of different missions, including attacking ground targets, electronic warfare and collecting signals intelligence. It's no wonder that when tensions heat up with Iran, the US deploys additional F-22s to air bases in the Persian Gulf. No threat from Iran terrifies the United States more than its burgeoning nuclear program. It is for this reason that every American president has said that when it comes to Iran's nuclear program, all options remain on the table. Should the US have to resort to the military option against Iran's nuclear program, the B-2 stealth bomber would figure prominently in the operations. One of Iran's best defenses is its massive and unforgiving geography. The country is 3 times larger than Iraq and roughly equivalent to the size of all of Western Europe. Most of its major nuclear facilities, as well as some of its important military sites, are located deep inside the country. Some of these are also located near important cities, such as the Fordo nuclear enrichment plant that is located near the important religious city of Qom. This is what makes the B-2 stealth bomber so key to any American attack on Iran's nuclear program. The B-2 bomber is also crucial to a US strike against Iran's nuclear program in another regard. Namely, it is the only aircraft capable of carrying the Air Force's GBU-57A/B massive ordnance penetrator. While the US has sought to deny the operational concept formerly known as air-sea battle was directed at China, it has been less coy about the purpose of the massive bunker buster. If the US decided to attack Iran's nuclear program, it would almost certainly use the MOP to destroy Iran's Fordo nuclear enrichment site, which is buried deep inside a mountain. At 30,000 pounds, 13,600 kilograms, 31.5 inches in diameter and 20.5 feet long, the Boeing-made MOP is around 6 times the size of the next biggest bunker buster in the US or Israeli arsenals. Beyond nuclear weapons, Iran threatens the US with its anti-access area denial capabilities. Like China, anti-ship missiles figure prominently into Iran's A2AD strategy. Unlike China, Iran has a less sophisticated arsenal of medium-range and over-the-horizon precision-guided missiles. Fortunately, the US Marine Corps has just the answer in the form of the Amphibious Combat Vehicle, ACV 1.1. Much about the ACV 1.1 is still unknown, but the original request for information in 2011 called for a vehicle that could self-deploy from amphibious shipping and deliver a reinforced Marine infantry squad, 17 Marines, from a launch distance at or beyond 12 miles with a speed of not less than 8 knots. Crucially for the current context, the Marines demanded that the vehicle must be able to protect against direct and indirect fire and mines and improvised explosive device, IED, threats. While still in the early part of their development, military laser systems are quickly becoming a reality. According to various news reports, recent tests of the Navy's laser weapons system, LAWS, surpassed their expectations in how quickly and effectively it tracked and destroyed ever more difficult targets. This is bad news for Iran and its A2/AD strategy. One of Tehran's most important A2/AD capabilities is the use of massive fleets of lightly armed speedboats to swarm American naval vessels operating in the Persian Gulf. In addition, Iran has also invested heavily in unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. While these will be utilized for multiple ends, there is good reason to think Iran may use some of them to swarm US platforms. Laser systems seek to deny swarming tactics this advantage. Instead of defending against swarming tactics with expensive anti-ship and anti-air missiles, lasers will allow America to destroy large swarms of speedboats or drones cheaply. Not surprisingly, the Navy is currently testing the LAWS in the Persian Gulf aboard the USS Bonds. That ship features a gun that uses electromagnetic force to send a missile to a range of 125 miles at 7.5 times the speed of sound. Although lasers still face crucial limitations, such as their ability to operate in less than perfect weather conditions, expect the Navy to work out the kinks in the years ahead. When it does, Iran's day of reckoning may be near.